So Zosh's Integra, it's no secret now that a couple weeks ago, actually right after he came to pick it up, he kind of tried to turn it into a boat, and that did not really work out. So now Zosh's Integra is coming back, the motor's out, we're gonna do the engine bay, we're gonna do a couple different other things, and this is gonna be a good one. And now, surprise, you got a couple more Crustina videos on the way from yours truly.
And now, you're watching There's a Huge Difference Between Chickpea and a Garbanzo Bean If It's On Your Face channel of YouTube. Welcome to BodeVision.
Hey, so what is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. So like I said, Crustina is coming back. We're gonna do the engine bay. Everything is gonna be really cool. There's gonna be a couple different videos for that. Now, finishing up my last video with Pepto right here. We've got the entire front end put back together. I did all of that yesterday. Also, I finished up the wire harness, so I just wanted to go ahead and show you that now. And then later on in that day, so later on yesterday, or at the end of the day yesterday, that's when Zosh and his boy Randy, that's when they dropped off the car, so I'm gonna show you that as well. And then we'll be right back here and I'll give a game plan and a breakdown of what all is gonna be in today or the rest of the video. Boom, and here we are right back to today, right back to where we started off at the beginning of this video. So here it is, got the Integra right here. Everything is out of it. Everything is out of it. So what I want to do right now, I want to just go ahead and before I start taking anything off, before I mess with it at all, before I sand it or anything, I want to go ahead and get it degreased, pressure wash it, get everything out of there. Any decontaminants that could be on that engine bay, I want to get rid of them before I mess with them at all. Alrighty, so the engine bay's been pressure washed, and right now, just taking a look at it, it is looking a little bit crazy. Now, one thing is, if the paint that's on there right now isn't gonna hold up to the pressure washer, I don't want that underneath my new paint. And all this stuff, that's all gonna have to be sanded out. I'm gonna have a lot of work ahead of me when it comes to sanding this thing because I don't want any bad paint underneath my good paint. So that's what I'm gonna do. And also another thing is all these holes like there, there, the brake lines for the back, the fuel lines right there. I wanna make sure no water gets into there. But as far as behind the dash, I wanna be careful, but it's not a huge deal if any water gets back there. So I don't sacrifice getting it clean, and if a little water gets in there, it doesn't matter. The car's not gonna be on for, who knows, a couple weeks. So it's definitely gonna be dry. It's definitely gonna be just fine by then, and we are going to keep moving. So the next thing that I wanna do, I don't know if you can see over here in this area, the way that this shock tower is this impression. That impression right there is actually the upper control arm, and it comes and smacks the top right there. Now this is a real common problem for Civics, Integras, or probably any other car that you're lowering. That happens. And also you can see right here, these little things, that's actually the top bolts of the upper control arm, right where your camber kit adjustment is on top of the upper control arm. That's smacking through right there. So a couple companies make kits like this. I don't consider myself a company, but I'm gonna make my own kit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these cut out, and then also we have this right here. That was cut out from when he was B-Series and Turbo, and the Turbo was sitting right there, but he no longer has that setup. So before I paint it, I wanna get that looking right as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this cut out somewhere in there. And then in a little while, I'm gonna go to the junkyard and see if I can find an upper radiator support that I can sacrifice to fill into his upper radiator support. Alrighty, so as you can see, that looks pretty good. And if you take a look under here, you can actually see the mark that was made from that camera kit or upper control arm smacking on there. Really nasty. So the goal is to get all of that metal out of there, then rebuild something that it's not going to hit, because it's going to be higher, it's going to have a lot more clearance, and it's going to look really good. So right now, that is just really rough, really nasty. But looking at the time and the fact that today's Friday, the junkyard is closing in a little while, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave this as that is, and then I wanna run over to the junkyard to make sure that I can get all the parts that I need. So I'm gonna bring my little angle grinder with me, the Milwaukee, the battery one, and hopefully we can find an Integra at the junkyard. I know where there's two, and hopefully they're still there. Alright, so on my way to the junkyard now, and before I get there, I wanted to mention, I don't know if you saw, well of course you saw, that hole that I had cut out. What I want to do before I actually go forward with building the custom extension, if you will, I want to loosen the lower control arm, I want to pop that ball joint out of there, and I just want that upper control arm, I think I just said lower control arm, I want that control arm to pivot and swing on its own so I can see where exactly it's hitting, and I can make sure as I'm building my new one, the custom one, I can give as much room as possible. So that's what I do. I loosen it, I swing it, and then that's the only thing that could possibly hit it. And as long as it's high enough to be out of the way, and also keep in mind and make sure that the hood can still close without having to do any kind of stupid risers or anything like that, because we want it to look as good, we want it to look as stock as possible. So that's the game plan. On my way to the junkyard now. Hopefully this rain holds out. So here we are. This is actually the green Integra from a couple of videos ago where I got the headlight harness out of, so I knew exactly where it was. It was right here. Now when I came in here, I had no idea. They didn't let me bring an angle grinder in here, so I actually found somebody, super nice guy, let me use his Sawzall, battery powered Sawzall. So I didn't film anything, I just came over, got it off right there. That's perfect. And then again, I didn't film it because I just wanted to use the guy's Sawzall and give it right back to him. So now as I'm here, I'm gonna look around to see if I need anything else at all, and then I'm gonna be out of here and we at least got what we need. Man, so I realized as I was leaving the junkyard, the only battery that I had brought, I put it on my grinder, and I had also brought my impact driver with me because there's a couple other things that I wanted to get while I was there, but then I handed over my battery and then it was just kind of a mess. But either way, I got exactly what we needed for Zosh's car, and that's what's most important right now. Sent him a picture, sent him a little surprise, because we just said that we're just gonna go for it and we're not even gonna do this. But I figured, I mean, it cost me 10 bucks for that part, so it is all good. I'm happy to do it, and then all that stuff is going to be in the following video. Well, I don't know for sure about that, but I do know for sure in the next video, I'm gonna do the shock tower extension, so make sure you subscribe to check that out. And everything else I have going on, tomorrow's upload is gonna be the podcast, and then next week we are back to the normal, regular, scheduled program. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff, you know what it is, YouTube. Check out the merch on